Saffron has been used around the world for over 3,500 years, and it is the most expensive spice by weight, even more expensive than gold. Now today, most of our saffron comes from Iran. However, saffron was originated actually right here in Greece, and you'll also find a lot of producers as well in Spain. So for thousands of years, saffron has been used around the world throughout the Middle East and the Mediterranean for its spice as a flavoring component, but also for medicine. That is right. So saffron is known to give you the chill factor, or these days it's also commonly known as the natural Prozac. So it's going to keep you very nice and calm. It's great for the mind and the mental clarity that it gives you. And another interesting fact is saffron has been used for coloring clothing. So because it's such an expensive spice, it was predominantly used hundreds of years ago for royalty to color their clothing. So these macarons today are very exotic with our beautiful saffron spice. We're also going to be pairing it with pistachios for some added luxury, and to also tie it back into a lot of these popular flavors that are really hitting the scene right now. So let's get started making our macaron shells. We're going to naturally color these with our saffron as well, and I'm going to go through all the steps now. So if you want a little bit more of an in-depth video to give you all the tips, tricks, and tools to create consistent eggless macarons every time, I will also link that video in your course dashboard. Let's make our filling now, which is going to be what's known as a Russian buttercream. So if you haven't heard of a Russian buttercream, this is a buttercream which is made with sweetened condensed milk. Now you can make this plant-based, of course, by using a vegan alternative. There is many out there these days. I've seen rice and then also a coconut version, or I will also link in your recipe of how to make your very own at home if you want to make this completely dairy-free. Now with the Russian buttercream, it does have the sweetened condensed milk and then also our butter or margarine, and pretty much those are the two main ingredients. We're going to add a few other things and flavors to really make these macarons shine. So of course we have our saffron, and we're going to be adding our pistachios. So I've measured everything out, everything's all ready to go, and the first thing I'm going to do is grind up my saffron threads. So I've already measured it out, You can also get the threads in a powdered form, but I'm just doing it myself today. And we're gonna grind these until it's nice and fine. I also like to add a little bit of my confectioner's sugar, just to help, because it's such a small quantity, and to also get all of that color up. Now, saffron has a very interesting flavor profile. Of course, it has those floral notes, but it also has some savory notes to it as well. Some earthiness, some grassiness. It's quite an unusual fragrance or aroma to this spice, and it is very, very unique. So we don't really want to crowd it with too many flavors, which is why I've paired it with the pistachio today. I think it also adds that nice nuttiness and earthiness as well, but it doesn't really take away from the beautiful flavor that we know saffron to be. So to our ground saffron, I'm going to add some nice room temperature margarine or butter. I also have a little bit of salt, and I'm gonna add a little splash of vanilla as well. Now I'm gonna beat this until it's nice and pale. So now it's been beating for a couple of minutes, I'm gonna add my confectioner's sugar, and we're gonna beat that again for another minute or two. Okay, now we're gonna slowly add our sweetened condensed milk. So you just wanna add a small amount at a time. I'd say probably do it in about 4 or 5 additions. I'm going to beat in between each addition to create a good emulsion. And what I love about the Russian buttercream is it's not as sweet as traditional American style buttercream, and it has a beautiful milk flavor to it, or that richness that you get. Look at that beautiful yellow color. Now the last thing I'm going to add is our pistachios. So I've got a small amount of pistachios here, and I'm just going to grind them up nice and fine. You could also use pistachio paste for this as well. Now this pistachio and saffron flavor combination is also very popular in India. Now there is celebration times throughout the year where they make types of sweets with sweetened condensed milk, saffron and pistachio, which are very, very popular. So I really wanted to incorporate some flavors that are known around the world with that very interesting saffron spice. Now let's give it a taste. It's not too sweet, and you get that subtle saffron flavor and the pistachios with a little bit of texture through there as well. Now I'm gonna pop this in a piping bag now, and we can start piping our macarons. Now I've just pulled my macaron shells. I actually had these ones in the freezer because I made them yesterday, and we are now ready to assemble. Now, what you want to do with your macaron shells is find ones that match up, that are the same size. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now with all of these. Now that we have all of our shells match up, we can start putting in our filling. So you're going to make sure you've got some nice pressure. I'm going to twist the bag, and we're going to squeeze into the middle of our macarons. Now you want to make sure that you've got a good filling to shell ratio. I'm pretty happy with that. Now we can pop it onto our tray and carry on with the rest. Now we have all of our macarons assembled. It's important that we age our macarons. So what this is going to do is allow all of those flavors to infuse into the shell and give that signature texture to a macaron that we know and love. So you do want to put these in a container, or because I put this just on a tray today, I'm just going to carefully wrap over some cling wrap just to ensure that no air gets in so they don't dry out. And we're going to pop this into the refrigerator for at least 12 hours, but ideally you want to do it overnight. I'll see you tomorrow.